Hello and welcome back to my season. Welcome back to your season. My name is Betty, and today we are covering everything Mercury and Gatorade, Mercury in the microwave, etc., etc. So Mercury is in retrograde again in Pisces, and I wanted to do this workshop today. It's quite a last minute thing because I see so much fear mongering on the internet. I see so much out there about people trying to scare people about Mercury, about how your life's gonna fuck up, how it's an eclipse season. And that is true, like it's an eclipse season, but it doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. And I, for one, as I've said multiple times, I'm a little sick of this fear mongering for clickbait from astrologers and from publications that are just trying to get you on their sites so they can make money for the advertisers. We are not in that business. And I think it's because I'm an Aquarius. I like truth telling. I hate bullshit. And a lot of this pop culture fuckery. I mean, I do love pop culture. But when it comes to astrology and that, I do feel like there's a lot of fear mongering. And I believe astrology should bring you back to yourself. I believe in the power of self, in intuition. So that is what my mission is. I love how my hair's dipping in and out here with what we're doing here. So, welcome to everyone watching. I'm so glad to have you all here. And let's dive right into this. I'm going to share my screen. I've made a little presentation. Again, I love doing that for you guys. We've got some exercises. We're going to go into the energy of this, and it's going to be a fun time. So, I hope you enjoy it. Okay, so here we are. We have got a little pretty workshop. So this is me. I am Betty. This is your modern guide to the universe with a cosmic company where we use astrology and spirituality to help you work with the universe to co-create your best life. That is the whole point of this. And I really want you to be able to work from season to season in astrology and use tangible ways of bringing this into your life so that you can embody astrology versus just reading about it. So my big thing that I love to work with is called cosmic coaching, which uses is it basically astrology and human design life and business coaching with the slant of manifestation. And we look at like what your birth chart says about the way you're supposed to work, the way you're supposed to manifest, get money, what you need to heal. And then I use things like healing and shadow work, like Reiki, hypnosis, and channeling to help you get into that person that your astrology tells you that you can be. And also, a new offering is my season. So, this helps you live season to season. It helps you create your best life with astrology. We've got a membership, which you're part of if you're watching this, and also a book on Amazon. And it's the love of my life. Writing that was the biggest joy. So, you may have been feeling like this change coming, like uncomfortable. We've had a lot going on. I'm going to cover some of the 2026 astrology and what's been happening because I think with these things, you need to look at the macro scope so you understand what is happening. So, you may have been thinking like things are coming to an end, and now you're going to start seeing it. We did come to the end of a 9 year cycle at the end of 2025. It was the closing chapter of 9 years. I imagine I can count. And it's whatever was repeating became impossible to ignore. Whatever you once wanted to do that you were too shy to do is now coming to the forefront. Its emotional weight increases around these things until you can't ignore it anymore because it becomes undeniable. What you want becomes undeniable. The new timeline does say everything that needs to get the fuck out gets the fuck out. And this is really this completion energy as we moved into this new cycle in January, in the year one of the new nine cycle is initiation. And that was also like the fire horse energy, right? So it's the new identity that is loading, please hold, new identity loading. And decisions are gonna land faster, like shit that you've been struggling with that feels like you've been going through the mud is essentially going to get easier. And this Mercury retrograde in Pisces is really going to emphasize that. It's going to help you, and I go more into this, connect more into your intuition so that you can understand where you need support, what your intuition's been trying to tell you that you've been denying, bitch. And also just what new things need to start now. So that end of oh yeah, we'll go into 2026 after it, but that end of the cycle, the end of, the snake year, the shedding of the skin, this retrograde, this eclipse season that we're in is really bringing that into the fore. We went into the year of the horse, which is, I did a lot of this on my last one. I sent myself laughing. I'm just my own friend. It's about moving forwards. We've shed the skin, we're becoming who we are, but we're in this awkward in between phase. So like the eclipse season that we're in is really about destiny, and Mercury in Pisces season during this is all about this, and it's also telling us what we need to do to get there. So far in 2026, we've had multiple turning points already. We had Saturn in Aries, which is huge. Like Saturn re-entered Aries. So Saturn's like the daddy, it's karma, it's structure, it's the architect of the 3D world. It's really like, okay, this is your dream, because Aries is about moving forwards, the first of the zodiac, the sign of me, the sign, you're like ruled by Mars, it's passion. What are you moving into? And what is the strategy and the structure for getting there? Do you know what I'm saying? And then we also had Neptune in Aries, and that's essentially like the dreamy kind of planet, the one that is about spirituality, but also about illusion. So where have you been holding yourself back with old paradigms, old subconscious constructs on all of these themes? Additionally, we are going to have Chiron moving forwards into Taurus. So this is Chiron, it really is like the wounded healer. So you look up Chiron in your own chart, and it's where you need to work on your healing so that you can help other people. So when it moves into Taurus, this is essentially collectively going to be focused on healing our worthiness and security. And then it moves back into Aries. And what that means is with this Aries energy here, like what the dream is, what are we moving forward into, both, personally and collectively. We're then going to look at like how we stabilize that, how we make it beautiful. What are our wounds around creating a beautiful life by creating stability and doing it in a slow way? Because Aries is quite fast, it moves fast, and Taurus is like, let me take my time. How do you build a momentum between the two? And Uranus in Gemini as well, that's essentially going to be radical changes as we see it in communication, information, and connection. And just to add to it all, and the eclipse is really setting the stage for this, the lunar nodes, which are nodal points, they represent collectively where we're moving into. So they transition from the Virgo Pisces axis to the Leo Aquarius axis on July 26th. So that's going to be a new 18-month cycle that we are moving into. And the energy is again going to go from me to we. And there's obviously so much fuckery in the world right now. We need to be thinking about our impact on the world. But like I said in the last workshop, put your mask on first. Look after yourself first. If you want to go into deeper of what that looks like for you, I do a 2026 report based on your birth chart. So you can check it all out and dive deeper. So why is this all important? Because again, we want to look at the macro with this. Just to look at Mercury retrograde by itself doesn't give you the full picture, and you need to know what you're working with. So because now we've moved out of the wood stake and into the fire horse, we now know with movement and courage and visibility what we need to do to move forwards. And what we're seeing in 2025 must be lived in 2026. And what that means is like you can't avoid what we're avoiding anymore. And what needed to end is ending. And that sort of Pisces energy, because it's the last of the zodiac, is really going to be having that ending energy for you. So let's talk about Mercury. If it's in retrograde, what is it? What is this planet in the first place? So Mercury rules how you process and express your reality, how you express yourself, how you work in conversation. So it's also how you talk to the universe, how you talk to yourself, but also how you think cognitively, like what's going on and what that is allowing you to see in this reality. Because what you think is what you believe, and what you believe becomes what you do, and what you do creates your reality. So it's really important where we talk about Mercury this way, but it also rules contracts and negotiations and decisions, technology and travel, and how you interpret tone and meaning. It's also the stories you tell yourself daily. So I wanted to break this down because with Mercury, it's also going to rule the next eclipse because it's in Virgo. And that's next week. We're doing another workshop on that. So a lot of this is going to start to come up. So it's your internal narrator, right? So what stories are you telling yourself? What things are outdated? Because with that Pisces energy and ruled by Neptune, that illusion, what old stories need to go? Where are you just telling yourself lies? Or who else is telling you lies? Or like what is outdated? Because Pisces can create new realities as well. But because we are creating it through our internal narrator, we need to understand how the two cohesively exist. So if your narrative inside is distorted, so you're always saying, oh, I'm shit, I'm never going to accomplish anything, well, guess what? You won't. Because you'll just believe it. And so then you won't do anything. You won't try. You know what I mean? And so during a retrograde, that means that this internal narrator, our stories that we're telling ourselves, are getting audited. And what that means is it's bigger. This whole thing is bigger than like, oh, your technology is gonna fuck up. I mean, that will happen. But it's also bigger than just you might get texts from your ex. It's mental recalibration. We are saying, I'm no longer going to keep thinking like this. I need to sort my internal narration out so that my world, my reality gets better because as within, so without, you create everything that you're seeing. And that can be layered and nuanced. So when we talk about Mercury RX or retrograde, it's really then this planet of thinking and travel and technology appears to move backwards, right? From our perspective on Earth. So, energetically, that really translates into this slowdown that is forcing us to review how we speak to ourselves, what we're saying to the world, and what we've signed or assumed. So, conversations maybe are resurfacing, all narratives, all paradigms are resurfacing, and tech glitches actually expose where we're rushing, which is super interesting because the misunderstandings highlight where we actually needed more clarity. And I think that's what a lot of people miss during this. Like it can feel hard, especially during eclipse season, but it's not necessarily punishment. It's a time to slow down and be like, oh, well, holy shit. No wonder this keeps repeating. I'm moving too fast to think about it. I'm moving too fast to even give myself the time of day. And so now we can pause, reflect, and edit and actually process what is happening so that we can make changes and move forward again with that fire horse energy. Do you see how it all links? You know? So, as we talked about, Mercury really rules like comms, technology, travel, logistics, but also siblings, neighbors, and your everyday reactions. So that's why just be careful like what you're saying and how you're saying it during this period. Like more arguments can start, and there could be again with that Pisces energy, try to make it flow. If it's not flowing, then don't force it. Don't swim downstream. Don't be like a fish swimming downstream. Wait, no, it's the other way around. Don't swim upstream. Don't do the hard one. Don't swim with the water against you. This is what I mean. Um, so what it can feel like is delays, mixed signals you not really understand. So ask for clarity, but ask in a calm, kind way. You may get people from the past reappearing, but you may also get mental fog and overthinking. So it's time to take a nap, bitch. But what it means, also, can we like look at this fish? I've been laughing at this fish for 2 days. I got her from the internet. She's so cute. She kind of looks like a cloud. Anyway, because Pisces is the fish. So, what it means for you in Pisces is that your emotions really here are leading conversations. So that's why if you feel yourself getting very emotional, like don't be afraid to express your emotion, but don't vomit them on another person. Like really tune into your nervous system, take a walk, rest, do EFT, hypnosis, going to the gym, go to therapy. Like if you need to express and journal in a safe way, but don't let go. No! I mean, it can be super good to get things out, but I'm just saying things can get heated right now. So follow your intuition for sure. Follow the heart, not the head. You may also see like old love stories come out. So like, yeah, you might hear from your ex, but also like old friends. And that's so that you can get closure on it, or there may be like a new level of meaning or perspective that you've not had before. There may also be like mixed signals or people projecting on you, like we said with that Pisces kind of, what's the word? Like the Pisces illusion. People live through their own perceptions of the world and they'll meet you at their level or limitation of perception. They'll also project that perception on you because no one's experiencing you in the same way, right? They're all looking at you through their lens. But also can mean through romanticization as well, which is also a form of perception. So your intuition will be heightened. So like if it's something you've kind of been leaning into and you start to get like alarm bells, listen to that. Your intuition will whisper, but the more that you listen to it, the clearer it gets. You have to be discerning with that as well. Your dreams are going to get more vivid, which is always fun. Symbolic, so look at what they mean. They often, if you have often doubted your intuition or psychic gifts, I always say this to my clients, look at your dreams. I bet you're dreaming quite a lot because you don't trust yourself consciously. So the unconscious is the part of your brain that's telling you. You may also get like super creative. So go and paint a picture, go and journal, go and do whatever that you need to do, poetry, spiritual work, or go and be around creativity. Go to an art museum, like anything you need to do, bitch, like get creative. The boundaries blur, so there may be like more energy protection that is needed. And maybe I'll guide you through some of that later. And also confusion where you've avoided the truth. Um, Spiritual beliefs, you might question them or you might deepen them. And sometimes to go deeper, we need to question. You might want to study. Like, I really want to get under the hood of Kabbalah and the I Ching way more. So, like, I know that's coming about in Pisces season because it's very spiritual. And you are asked to feel whatever you're feeling fully, but verify it practically if you can. But you don't need to. You don't need to feel it first. So here's this fish again. So the energy of Pisces really is because it's the final sign of the zodiac, it carries memory and it carries endings and it carries intuition and surrender. So when reality feels heavy, and let's fucking face it, it can feel really heavy with all the darkness at the moment. Pisces dissolves the structure so that you can connect with something larger than your ego, a larger part of collective consciousness. And it asks you to surrender control. So if you've been trying to force something to make it happen, give it to the divine, give it to God. Like, because we're in eclipse season, and you hear people saying like, don't manifest. I mean, you're always manifesting, but it's more like set your intention for what you want, give it to the universe. And just what you then need to do is go about living the best life you can in finding joy in the places that you can, expressing yourself. And here as well, you need to trust that endings of things aren't failures, but they transition you back into the ocean of possibility. Do you see what I did there? So you might think a certain thing. Like there's certain memes, isn't there? It's like, this is my dreams, and it's like a bonsai tree. And then like these are my plans for me. And then there's like a massive blossom tree, and it's like this is God's plans, the universe's plans. There is so much divine order and intelligence way beyond our ability to understand. So give it to the universe because trust me, trying to push it is exhausting. And aren't you tired though? Aren't you tired? So as we talked about, like timelines and realignment is happening here, and that really came into effect with the closing of the year of the snake. So this comes in. We've got another fishy here, by the way. She is white. She is a washed out version of the pink one. Um, with Mercury retrograde, it's looking at then, okay, so what is it I have let go of? Why did that need to go? Who needs to go? How is that benefiting me? And then how do I say goodbye to that? How do I have a funeral for my old self? And how do I release attachments and realign with what I want? And what is it that I want? And create a vision board for it. Print it out, do it on Canva, print it out and put it by your bed. And also like write the goals of what you need to do to get there as well. Because you investing into yourself this way tells the universe that you're ready for a new level of growth, you're ready for a new identity. And the awareness of that consciously perceived in co-creation with the universe is how you create a whole new damn life. So as we know, this is all happening during eclipse season. So the planets that rules your thoughts and conversation is moving through the most intuitive, emotional and porous sign of the zodiac. So the sun and the moon are really triggering like these karmic turning points. Like people will leave your life that you've been trying to get rid of, or maybe that you didn't even know about and they needed to go. Old things will keep looping back until you're like, bitch, yes, let me fucking fix this. And pivotal conversations at the right time allow you to close that chapter and fast track you into the next. So it can feel scary. And I think this is why people fearmonger about it, because a lot of us are just so scared to change. And we get scared, even if it hurts us, to move the fuck on because we are so much more comfortable in the uncomfortable. But like, if you're already uncomfy, why don't you just stretch yourself a little further and do the thing that actually you're going to want to do because it's going to make you happy? Because why would you want to spend the next 6 months or year of your life unhappy? Haven't you done enough of that? Isn't it time to change? That's the theme. That's the theme of this whole thing. So if you're sick of revisiting the same old storyline, if the same old shit, the same old man in it, but he's like in different bodies, keep showing up in your relationship. So it's like the same guy, but different guys with the same patterns. Bitch, this is your cue. This is your cue to get rid of him. Cut him off. No violence though, no violence. But like exit out. Say no, thank you. I'm in my new timeline. You cannot come. Not everyone can come with you to the new timeline. And that is sad too, but your cute dog and cat can. You know, they can come. We love that. Your sparkling water can come. You can come. But what do you need to let go of in order to do it? So pay attention to what resurfaces. This is the translation. Because what is coming up here is showing you what is about to shift so that you can move the fuck on, girl. So some of the things that you need to do during a Mercury retrograde is really review your last 6 months. Look at like what are the conversations that keep coming up that are just coming up time and again, and I've done nothing about them. And renegotiate terms based on people say necessarily don't sign contracts during this time, but I think with the right intention and the checking that everything is viable. So if something hasn't sat well with you in terms, like renegotiate them, get a professional if you need help. Also, edit your plans. If it's not working for you anymore, if you've committed to things and you need to uncommit, like fuck it, do it. Put yourself first. Put yourself first. And also back up your tech. That's a really big one. So get iCloud if you need to, Google Drive. Start backing things up, but also strengthen your boundaries with yourself, with the people around you. And remember, like, if you set a loving boundary and they don't respect it, there's everything you need to know about how they think about you. And that reveals so much in itself, whether at work, whether, you know, in your relationships. And there's so many ways to boundary set in a very healthy way. And it might be very scary and you might do it shaking, but this retrograde is refinement. It wants you to do this. So, what not to do? I mean, this is all under advisement. You do you, right? But I would not advise that you send an emotional essay, drunk or not, at midnight. Write it in your notes. Send it to your bestie if you need it to send it to someone. And do it as a diary entry. Or you can even write it and burn it. Like some cognitively, the brain doesn't know the difference between you giving it to that person or not. Spiritually, you can still close things off by writing a letter to that person of all the things you've ever wanted to say. Or I've done screaming voice notes in my own notes to people that will never get them. And I was not that nice. And sometimes then if you want to close boundaries, you can work with someone's higher self. And you can say like, I loved some of our times together, but I think our time together has come to an end. And I lovingly let you go. And you're saying this to the higher self, and that's like the highest version of them in the spiritual world. And then you say goodbye. I send you with love. And watch your reality in the real world. Echo that. You'll start to see things come to an end that you needed to. Also, do not sign anything that you have not read twice, 3 times, 4 times. So you could totally sign contracts, but like you better make sure you're questioning things, again, in a loving, kind way, and don't sign anything you're not sure of. Also, don't assume silence means rejection. Sometimes people need space, or they're thinking about things, or there's things moving that you don't know in the background. So, like, check in, but like, don't control it again. And do not make permanent decisions from a temporary emotion. Do not make permanent decisions from a temporary emotion. If you feel a certain way, sometimes I have very big feelings. I am a quadruple Scorpio in my chart. I've got a lot of planets and Scorpios with very intense, big emotions. And I say to myself, if I still feel like this in 2 days, I'm going to revisit this. But I also work on like nurturing the emotion, letting it be felt. I let it talk. I'm like, what do you need? What is it you're saying to me? What do you wish me to know? I journal about it. I talk to it on walks. This is part of neurolinguistic programming. And because a lot of emotions are energy and motion, so often you can feel it, but you may release it. And if you do something and 2 days later, you're like, oh, fuck, you call it the heat of the moment. Don't let the heat rule. Let it cool first. Sometimes it's good because it allows you to fucking get things done. So you can, again, use your discernment, right? I don't live in your life, but just let it work a little. Let it work a little, you know? And I think the other thing to notice as well is when it comes to yourself, where have you been putting off going deeper? Where are you taking everything at surface level in the first place? Because that's going to be a key indicator of what needs to change. So I think one of the most powerful ways to work with this is to understand where Pisces is in your chart, and then you'll understand when this Mercury retrograde is affecting you, okay? So if it's in your first house, this is going to be about your identity, your self-image, and how you present yourself. Second house is in money, self-worth, income, and value. Your third is your comms, your siblings, your local environment. And the fourth is like your home, your family, your emotional foundations. And with the fifth house, it's about romance, creativity, pleasure. And in six, it's your work, your routines, and your health. The seventh is your relationships and your partnerships. And then the eighth is intimacy, shared money and resources, but also deep transformation. And then ninth house is beliefs, travels, higher learning. The 10th is career, reputation, and visibility. And then the 11th is friends, community, and future vision. And Pisces in the 12th, because Pisces rules the 12th, is your subconscious endings and spiritual growth. So you'll really feel it there. But you've also got like the different placements in sun as well, like the sun and the moon. So if it's your sun that's in Pisces and it's your season now, happy season. So your identity feels fluid, purpose might get reevaluated, you revisit who you're becoming. If you've got a moon in Pisces, this will be about emotional memories resurfacing, your intuition spiking, but your old wounds want processing as well. So in Mercury, we've got major mental rewiring, rethinking your beliefs, communication glow up loading, yes. With your Venus, it's old lovers, value shifts, and also like your romantic illusions clearing, baby. You might not see him the same way again. Your Mars is that your energy might feel scattered, anger turns inward, so just watch that. Why are you angry at yourself? And your motivation gets spiritualized as well with Jupiter, Pisces Jupiter. So that here, like your faith's really getting refined, your spiritual beliefs deepen, or your reality gets checked as well, which I think is happening to all of us. And then Pisces in Saturn, so that's karmic lessons are resurfacing and boundaries are being tested because maybe they're too fluid, right? And Saturn hates that. So Pisces and Saturn's it's a tricky one. Pisces and Uranus, so that's sudden intuitive breakthroughs, old awakenings revisited, going deeper, restless spiritual energy. So, like, definitely make sure that you're grounding. With Neptune, which is where Pisces is ruled by, illusions are dissolving, your psychic sensitivity is heightened. Honey, you're going to be sensitive and psychic as fuck. Creativity is amplified, and again, boundaries tested. This may be happening to a lot of us, though. And in Pluto, it's like deep emotional purging, getting rid of none of that shit that works for you anymore. And your subconscious power dynamics really coming to the surface and transformation at a soul level, girl. You know? So here, I want you to do a timeline check of the last 6 months because it's just good to take some of this time. So you can pause this now. You can just take some minutes, but I want you to ask and do it with a journal. like this, and say, what in my life feels like it's ending? Is it relationships? Is it a time of a way of thinking? Is it an old job? And then what feels like it is quietly beginning? And I want you to put your emotions down for how you feel about those things as well. And if I trusted divine timing, what would I release today? So for me, I would release giving a fuck. I give too many fucks still. Cares way too much. And I just like it's not that serious, you know? It's just there's a lot of serious stuff, but a lot of it's like that I'm going through is not that serious. So that's what I would release, and I just have more fun. I really would. Okay, so now we are going to do a meditation. Okay? Okay. Can you reshare the meditation with me? The timeline awareness one. Okay, so we're going to do this meditation. So close your eyes, slow down your breathing, and really just take a slow breath in through the nose. Hold at the top and let it go. And one more time. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And as you keep doing this, I want your shoulders to drop. I want your jaw to soften. And I want you to see a beautiful white light coming from the top, the ceiling, from the universe, coming in through your head and moving its way down through your body and throat, clearing and cleansing anything not working for you. Any negative energy is being cleared out as it sparkles and moves its way down through your body, down into your sacral and solar plexus, down into your root chakra and your legs, clearing and cleansing anything that doesn't work. Keep breathing deeply, feeling it clearing and cleansing. And as it moves its way down into your feet, it turns into beautiful roots that move all the way down into the earth. And as it moves down into Mother Gaia, you see this beautiful white light form protection around you. And from there, I want you to start understanding that you are in the astral realm. Bring your attention to the last 6 months of your life. Not so much the details, but the feeling. And notice what feels different right now. What's been happening in the last 6 months? What feels heavy now after those last 6 months? And what feels clearer? I want you to ask yourself, what feels complete even if I've not officially ended it yet? Do not analyze it. Just let the answer surface. And now I want you to ask the question, where am I holding on out of familiarity rather than alignment? Where am I holding on out of familiarity rather than alignment? Notice how your body responds. Do you have tightness, relief, resistance, or calm? Now shift your awareness. There is also something forming. It may not be loud or practical yet, but it is present. Ask yourself, what feels quietly alive in my life right now? What desire keeps returning? What standard am I no longer willing to lower? What version of me feels closer than she did 6 months ago? What version of me feels closer than she did 6 months ago? And notice the contrast between what feels drained and now what feels energized. And notice the difference in your body and where you feel it. This is Pisces discernment. It helps you feel the way into the truth. We're not thinking with the head. Now, if we look at this through the lens of the eclipse energy, eclipses accelerate what is already true, right? So they remove what you've outgrown and they amplify what is allowed and aligned. So ask yourself, if timing were intelligent and supportive, what would I allow to fall away without drama? What are you brave enough to let fall away? What would I stop forcing? And what would I stop chasing? You don't need to fix anything right now. You just need to know and see clearly. So take another big breath in and exhale fully. And when you are ready, you can open your eyes. You can do this as many times as you need to. You can also journal on some of these things, but the whole point of that meditation, when you ask yourself that, it allows you to be in touch. I point to the back of the head like the subconscious is there. Pisces is about the unknown, right? The subconscious, the awareness allows us to then perceive and take that from the unconscious to the conscious mind. So asking yourself, like, what would I stop chasing? Asking yourself, like, what desire is coming back and seeing how that feels in your body is the whole point of this. And that's how you step into the new timeline, you know? So now, girl, we're gonna pull some cards. Okay, so I am gonna get 3 cards, and you are going to choose which you want, and then this is what your message is for Mercury retrograde, babes. You ever want tarot readings? I do personal tarot readings on anything, business, life, love, you know? Okay, these are the 3 cards. 1, two, three. Let's do one first. So if you pulled one, this is the Hierophant upside down. Oh, it always sucks when I'm in the moon. You can't really see. So the Hierophant is about rebellion, withdrawal, and rejection, false knowledge. So this really works with like what has not been true for you? What are you willing to let go of? What do you believe about the world? Because as we said, your thoughts create things. So what subconscious programming is ruling you, and how is that stopping you from going after your dreams? And where is that coming up, being reflected back to you, like the people saying things to you that you truly believe about yourself, and you're like, oh shit, I need to change that because I'm not actually stupid, or I wouldn't have done this. And it's also like Taurus energy, so creating a beautiful life for yourself, really a beautiful home environment, going slow, making everything joyful and luxurious and grounded. It's very, Taurus is a grounded sign. So daily grounding is going to be needed for you. Putting your feet, go and touch grass, honey. If you live near the ocean, go be by the ocean. Take your shoes off and ground. There's so many grounding exercises on YouTube. Go out into nature and talk to it. If you feel shit, do a mental health walk, and you'll be like, oh, fully mental health walk. You really need to be out into nature and know and understand what your deeper beliefs are. That's what this is about. You really need to go deep. So whether with hypnosis, whether with journaling, whatever it is, you need to go into the shadow to understand what programs are running you. That was card one. Card two is the Queen of Cups. I love this card. She's passionate. So this is about gatherings and celebrations and abundance. So this is where you're moving into because you have let go whatever the fuck is not working for you anymore. Thank God, thank God, thank God. Okay, okay. So here is like what is worth celebrating in your life. You've been through a hard time, but there are always moments of joy. There are always moments of celebration. So here it's about summer, stepping into the warmth of who you are, sharing that with the world. And it's about water as well. So really connecting more with the water element. You might want to look at water magic itself as well. I think that you should just have a life celebration, even if it's not your birthday or a wedding, just go and celebrate something. Have a party for the sake of it. Have a moon picnic, have a happiness picnic. Invite people around. That's how you get the support. Get people to come and share with you like what they've been going through the last 6 months. Maybe you have a party for celebrating getting through the last 6 months. And I want you to start writing down 3 things every day that are worth celebrating, even if they're tiny. It's a little like gratitude, but not so much. The shadow of this is disloyalty, rejection, and betrayal. That's what you were doing. Oh, sorry, this is the Three of Cups. My dyslexia word, Queen of Cups. So celebrate all the love and successes in your life because more of it's coming. The more you celebrate, the more of it comes. Maybe you should celebrate the things that you actually want, even if they've not arrived yet, because the universe doesn't know. And then you align with that frequency and collapse the time, and bam, bam, they're here. Okay, this is why I got them mixed up because the third one's the Queen of Pentacles. So if this is yours, then your message is to focus on your home, family, and prosperity, right? So this is winter. So coming into yourself, deeper reflection, saying yes to yourself, and really going deeper, knowing that you are your home and that you have everything that you need. So making your body more of your home as well. It's really like this motherly energy. So becoming your own mother, you might want to work on some reparenting techniques, talking to yourself like a child. Maybe you want to put a picture of you as a child on your phone so you remember who's actually out in the world and who might be running the show. It might be your inner child. Be protective of yourself and your energy. And the question for you is, how can you receive more prosperity in your family and personal life? And that's by putting yourself first, because when a woman puts herself first, everything else follows. We've been told by society not to do this, but we set the standard. We accept the love we think we deserve, but we set the standard of the love that we think we deserve based on how we love ourselves. And that is how you come into more prosperity in all manners. So I hope that you babes loved it. I hope this helped. Please send me any questions. And we've got another workshop coming up in the My Season membership, which is all about the lunar eclipse in Virgo. So this is on 3rd of the 3rd, which is next week. So Virgo really wants clarity, standards, like clean energetic space. So this workshop, we're going to review what actually worked, but we're going to identify where you overfunction or abandon yourself. And we're also going to cut cords, very powerful exercise, and do some energy work. And we're going to reset your boundaries so that you're not carrying old energy. So if you've realized that you have a lot of boundaries that need setting and you don't know how to do them, you need to come to this workshop. It's going to be so powerful. So the work that we do is both scientific with the neuro-linguistic programming and the work that we do, but also spiritual. I do a bit of everything. And you just see your whole world change after one of these workshops. So we're going to review again relationship patterns so much in the last 6 months. Look at these cords and where they are in the body and really then see what is aligning versus what feels draining. And we're going to clear partners, situationships, emotional entanglements, and reclaim your standards, bitch. Because that is what my season means. That's stepping into my season. So if you want to join that, we do a 30-day free trial. We've got a community membership. We've got these kind of workshops all the time. We've got community events. I'd love you to join us. I hope that you loved this. And thank you so much for watching. And let me know where Pisces is in your chart, how you're feeling, and I will see you next time. Bye, my love.